Hello and welcome back to the channel where we are building a video game from scratch using Love2d and Lua. Let me see here. We've got hold on, wrong camera here. Give me a second. Okay. What did we just do, man? Okay. We still need to be under the waveform. There we go. Okay. I think we're ready. Yo, Matt Bird, what is up? Thank you for the raid, dude. Welcome in. Hope you had a good stream. I just got my camera fixed for my stream, so. Yo, hope you had a good stream, dude. What were you working on? Okay. Welcome in, Raiders. We are building a top-down action-adventure game in the style of like Link's Awakening with Love2d game engine and Lua programming language. Oh shoot, man! Hopefully the shoulder gets better here soon. Yeah, hopefully you get some rest on that thing. So we've got 2 new sound effects. We're almost done with the demo. We have some new art to get done, and then we have what we're going to be doing today is 2 sound effect implementations from our sound effect guy. Our friend Kane is doing some sound effects for us, so we need to add those in. It is sound effects for when... Hey, Innsbruck, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. We're almost at 300 follows, so it's like right on that verge of 300 on Twitch here, which is really cool. I think the move is here... I gave myself a little shortcut to get upgrades here so I can put on the tunic and everything. So what the sound effect we're adding, ignore the broken water there, but right here. So when you're in a successful spellcast, we need the sound effect to come on. And then basically only if the white focus bar at the bottom there is in the green zone of successful spellcast, it'll trigger a looping kind of sound effect to play. So we have to kind of think about how we want to do that. I think because ideally we don't want to just we can loop the sound if we're in a successful spellcast, right? But if we're off of a successful spellcast, since the sound effect loops, it could be like 2 seconds before the sound fades, even though we're outside of the successful spellcast. So I think we're going to be doing some fading out and fading in. Today you worked on some card game engine. Okay. Dude, that'll be cool. That'll be cool. Yeah, good luck with that, dude. I know I want to try Balatro. I know Balatro's coded in Love2d and Lua, which is my same stack. So I'm super proud of Balatro, but I have not played it yet. But it is cool to see the game engine I use get some love here. Oh yeah, we just got sound effects for printing up text. Yeah, Balatro was made in Love2d and Lua. which is really cool. And then somehow, I don't know how they shipped it to Nintendo Switch or whatever, how they ported it. Okay, so we need our sound effect. I believe we imported this. We just did not use it anywhere. So let's take a look at the import here. So we should have sound effects. Okay, we have fire blast spinning. So we have a song for when the fire hits the geckos or the bats. But then we have a sound for the fire spinning. So let's see if we can tie this into only a successful spellcast, maybe. Yeah, what just happened? Hold on, my power tools isn't working. I've got escape mapped to caps lock. Come on, dude. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too, Innsbruck. I'm like, I don't really have much money to dump on games right now. Okay, remap a key. Okay, it's there. It's just not on. What the hell? I know. Well, my big deal is I use caps lock all the time for this. Oh my gosh. Dude, this is bad that this is not working. I can't do anything in Vim when my caps lock is broken. Why does it keep doing that, dude? Okay, tell you what. Dude, my caps lock is stuck now. This sucks, dude. I hate this. Okay. That looks right. Let's try that. Yo, Loki, what's up, dude? Well, and that's the thing, Innsbruck. I never use caps lock. I never actually use caps lock, so it's fine to have it repurposed for me in Vim. Because then I can actually use it. Okay. Let's just see if the caps lock is working. Okay, it is. It's just slow. Okay. Okay, let me just make sure we didn't screw up our file. Okay. I thought we had screwed up. We didn't save, so that's good. Okay, so this is it. Fire Blast Spinning. This Fire Blast Spinning V2 loop that Kane sent us. We need a trigger on a successful spellcast. So, our successful spellcast, I think, is in our play state for our player. I think it's just called successful cast. Yeah, successful cast. It's in the map as well as the player, and it looks like it's a global variable in our play state. Okay, so I say the first step is probably I think the move is we really I know I'm thinking that it doesn't make the most amount of sense, but it's like we need the sound to fade in, right? Which means we don't know when to trigger it to start playing in the first place. We know when to fade it out if it leaves the successful cast area, right? But if we... Because part of me thinks, like, just loop the freaking sound and play it all the time, no matter what, but set the volume to nothing unless we're a successful cast, and then just tween the value up and down for as long as you're in a successful cast. But that's like a little overkill, right? To be playing the sound. Regardless of if you're pressing the button, we're playing the spellcast sound on mute so that it can be looped. Yo, what's up, Kavictus? How's it going, dude? I smell a battle royale in the near future. Yeah, I mean, the alternative is we set some flags for like, okay, well, we triggered a successful cast, so therefore let's play the successful cast sound if it is not already playing, and then if we ever leave successful cast, we have to set decrement to true for the envelope fade out for the, you know, gain of the sound effect we're putting. Yo, Kavictus, it's been going well. I've been moving the past 2 weeks, so we got a house. So we've been painting and sanding and repair and Home Depot and all that stuff the past 2 weeks. So we're finally at the point where we can move in. Like, the house is ready for us. It just took like 2 weeks of work, you know, and then so the next 2 weeks are going to be spotty stream-wise, but yeah, the house, we love the house. There's a dedicated stream room. It's already painted green screen for the wall, so we've got the stream room all painted. It's going to be good, and we'll have the internet directly into the stream room, so that should be good. Okay, so I guess what we can do, let's do this where we'll only play the spell fire spinning sound. Yo, battle royale, here we go. We'll only play the spinning sound if a successful cast is true and it's not already playing, and then we just have to worry about calculating the gain for it. I think is it from 0 to 1 for the set volume argument? Did we really just drop? Oh no, dude, don't tell me we dropped. We're good, we're stable. Okay, let's go. Innsbruck coming in for the win. Let's go, Innsbruck. Let's go. You get some coins for that. Yeah, I'll give everybody some coins who participated there for buying some skins and stuff. Yo, good fight, y'all. Okay, so yeah, I think what we're gonna do is we're just gonna try to play this fire blast spinning sound. I know we dumped frames here for a little bit, but then we're surviving, I think. This is the issue. My Ethernet cable is kinked because it's going around my apartment and into this room, so the Ethernet is kind of spotty. Okay, Fire Blast spinning 2. So I guess we'll put this in the play state because that's where our successful cast is. And we don't really do anything here. I wish I had fiber. I don't think fiber is available at the place. I tried two places in town and they didn't support fiber for my area. That's the dream. I do pay, I don't know, I pay like 110 a month or something for this internet, but we crash stream all the time, which really sucks. Okay, well we have successful cast here in this play state. I know it's $100. Yeah, it's like $115 or something a month. It's kind of crazy. Okay, yeah, I don't know if I like the idea of it being in the play state here. Should we put it? It is yucky Comcast. We could put it in the player class, or in the... I don't want to put it in the state machine for it. So I guess we could put it in the player class. But I guess the player update depends on the state, right? So... Okay, well we do have a successful cast trigger here in the player, so it might make sense to put it here. No way. That's the deal of a lifetime right there, Innsbruck. That's good stuff. That's what I wish mine was. Yeah. Okay, so let's add, I guess let's add a field. See, because we need a variable to calculate the volume, to store the volume of the sound that is emitting from the successful cast, right? So where does that variable live? It can live here in the player. It can be attached to the player because the player is the only thing that can cast this spell. We could do that. Can have it be called fire spell gain or fire spell volume or whatever. So I guess it makes sense to put it on the player. Okay, now I'm going to pull up the documentation real quick for the set volume function in Love2d, because there is, I think it's 0 to 1 or something. Uh-oh. We need this. Sounds good, Cavictus. Have fun looking. I know, I don't like the monopolies in Spur. It's like, there's like two, I got two options, you know, there's two freaking, it's basically Monopoly. One is normal. Okay, so 0 to 1. 0.5 is 50%. Okay, that's what I thought. So, fire spell volume, it starts off at 0. Now we'll do it only if it's successful cast, right? So, if we're in this range, then, you know, we could put it right here, because this is just, we did used to have a spellcast sound here, so we can plop in the sound right here. So we can say, you know what, go to our SFX table, go to our Fire Blast Spinning 2 key and just play it. So we'll say play, and the thing is, we only want to play it if it's not already is playing, right? So while we're in this range, we only play it if it's not already playing, so we don't have multiple instances of it playing, which is actually a feature that Slam, the sound library, is giving us. If this were like vanilla Love2d, this kind of comes out of the box. Like you can hit play and it'll just loop it. Like normal play will just loop it if it's in an update. So it's kind of built for games in that sense, but also if you need the same sound more than once at a time, you kind of have to use Slam. So at least that's my experience. So we want this is playing method, right? Is playing. So we ask if the song is playing, and if it is, if the song is not already playing, that's when we want to play it. So we'll play it right here on a successful cast. So let's just hear if that's coming out. Like the fading won't work, right? So let's kill the house music real quick, or at least lower it. Okay. So let's see. We're gonna cast a spell here. I'm gonna hit my cheat button to give myself some variables. Here we go. Okay, so I got the spell equipped. Yeah. So see, it does stop playing, but not soon enough, right? So okay. Yeah. And it does kind of sound here. Let's see what it sounds like compared to the pushing rocks. It does sound different than pushing rocks. Okay. So that's the first step, right? We can turn down the volume maybe like 2 points. Yeah, we can turn down the volume maybe like 2 points. So, Fire Blast Spinning. Fire Blast Spinning 2. Okay. Yeah, maybe like a 0.8 on the gain here. Maybe a little quieter. Let's see. It's hard to tell for like comparison to other things. Uh-oh. 'Cause it's all relative, right? Let's hear it fighting some bats, you know? Yeah, it's still too loud, still too loud. Yeah, it's much too loud. Because it also kind of clutters up everything. Let's just cut it in half real quick and see how that sounds. Holy cow, dude. Okay, I mean, it's very loud. Yeah, maybe we boost it just a bit. Once we get the fading right for it, that'll sound a lot nicer. So now that we know that we're putting our sound effect here, we basically need to say, oh, you know what? I actually have no idea how to do this. Unless set volume works over time. Yeah, set volume has to work over time. Because if the thing is already scheduled to play... Actually, yeah, we need to test this because I don't know if this works. Actually, yeah, this is screwed up. We have to do a test here because right now the sound only plays when we're in that zone of successful cast. But the set volume method is kind of dictated before you play it. And that is kind of what, in my understanding, sets the volume while you're playing it. So we're looking to fade the sound to nothing over time, which I think we do. I think we do somewhere else. But we basically have to try this where, let's say, instead of playing successful spellcast sound only if we're actually casting magic, but let's just say we're just going to loop this. But before we play it, we're going to set the volume of it to become... We're going to set the volume here as a variable that's going up and down, right? Sine, cosine up to 0 and 1. So we can, just because I want to see if the adaptive volume is coming out during the loop. Because if that's the case, we can do what I want. If that's not the case, we have to figure something else out. So let's say that we want to do this at the player, which is our self magic fire volume. What's it called? Fire spell volume. So fire spell volume, we set the volume, then we play it. So in here, let's just give us a local variable. Let's just call it wave. And it's going to be set equal to, we just do a sine function. We just want an oscillating value. So we want to add delta time to, we want to say wave gets the sine of this plus delta time. And then set our wave equal to the volume. I guess let's just print what wave would be at this point. I think we have debugging on, so we should be able to say wave gets turned into a string. Concatenated with wave prints to the console. We just want to see if we're oscillating between 1 and -1, right? So dude, I hate, can't do X. Oh, yeah, we need a starting. We'll just say what? You just Okay, wave is not doing anything, so it's just sitting there at 0.01, so that's like a delta time. So we do need to scale this. We need to say wave gets modified by that delta time, because we're looking for that to oscillate. Uh-oh. Dude, what are you mad at? Wave is a nil value. Yeah, we gotta initialize it. So let's do this. You know what? We'll just put it. We'll put it on the character on Tashio here, just so he can access it in other state machines if we need. We'll initialize it to 0. There we go. So look, wave is not oscillating. It's just growing. So we have to do the sign differently. What are we doing? We have to say math.sign of our own wave plus delta time. No. Dude, why are we doing it wrong? What are we doing wrong? Sign.wave. We have to set our wave equal to... Oh, I think we have to set it equal to our current wave. Dude, what are we doing? Current wave plus math.sign of a bigger number, a growing number. Yeah, we need a bigger growing number, so... I don't know what we would put, but we just want to say sign count is going to get incremented by delta time, and that is the number we put into our sign function to get an ever-growing number. Right? Then we modify our wave by our current wave. Yeah. So let's try this. So let's say a local sign count is 0. I'm not very good at game dev, so I'm like, you know, figuring out how to do a freaking sign function. Oh, that went up to 100. That's close. It went up to, 119. Are you allowed to give shoutouts, Kavictus, as a mod? I think you have to do a slash, not a exclamation mark. I think it's a slash. Okay, so this is cycling, but it's wrong. So sign count gets incremented. We set our wave equal to... What is this? Let's just set it equal to the sign function here. There we go. Yeah, so we're going from -1 to +1 here. So I don't think you can give a -1 to the set volume function on, you know, soundables. I don't know what to call them. There you go. Thanks for the shout out, Kavictus, for Rough Cookie there. Rough Cookie streams are on fire lately. Okay, so we've got our wave. So this is going to be the volume we're going to test our volume coming in at. We can also do a little bit more than this. We can clamp it so it doesn't go negative. So we can say that this is going to be the bigger of two numbers, either 0 or the thing we're trying to calculate over here. So now wave will never go to negative. It might mean we chill at 0 for a bit longer than expected, though. Yeah. Yeah. But if this works... Yeah, if this works, it would be good. So we have a self.wave, which is a value between 0 and 1, which is what argument the set volume method takes for a soundable. So we'll do that in the play state, or in the player class. here. Yes, so before we play this... Oh, I've got a bot Cavictus, but I'm running it locally on my computer. I'm running, what's it called? I forget what it's called. I'm running a bot on my computer here. Twitch TMI or something? Something like that. Okay, so we're going to set the volume equal to our wave value and hope we have this adaptive fading in and out sound. So let's hear. We got to mute this and listen close. Let's listen. I don't hear it. Okay, so we set our volume to our player's wave. Are we doing that wave? Oh, we do it. Let's do it. Let's calculate our wave before we do that. I don't know if that really matters, but yeah, I don't hear it. Because if we were to say, well, let's just set the volume here to a pure 1, we should hear it play and loop. Huh. We don't. So, oh, this is only on, oh, okay. This is only on successful cast. So, let's try it right here. Let's try this fire spell volume. We ended up not using that, but let's just hear it loop here real quick, and then we'll try giving it the wave value. Holy that's there. Yeah, and this set volume, it should kind of be, you know, it should be whatever we set it to. I think it was like a 0.4. Shoot, yeah, that was the range. That's another factor in our wave spell because we're not normalizing for that. But this is just to test how it works. I don't know if we can modify the sound as it's coming out. So let's try to do this self.wave in the set volume for the loop here. I don't hear it. Because what I'm worried about, what I think is happening is the volume 0, it plays and then it never comes back. You know, it's because it's playing, it always comes back here. So it's almost like we have to always be setting the volume for it. So maybe we say, well, we set the volume for it no matter what, but we only play it again if it's not already playing. But we're going to set the volume for it over time. So maybe now it can adjust over time. I think that's right. You know, it fades in and fades out. We can test it. We can stretch it a little bit longer if we don't like how fast that goes. And we can just say that this gets modified by half a delta time. So it fades in slower and fades out slower. Wait, sorry, that's so loud. It does fade in and out though. The only difference is we need the top end of the loudness to be a 0.4 or whatever we decided. So that's another design decision, like if we want to be consistent with that, because we're setting it to a 0.5. So that means ideally we go from 0 to 0.5 and back down to 0 instead of all the way up to 1. So would that mean we just take our sine here, and we can just cut it in half. So it goes to a max of 0.5 on our wave variable here. It's working. So like watch like the, you know, fire comes out, fire goes away, fire comes out, fire comes out, then fire goes away. Yeah, I like that. It's still maybe a bit too loud, but I also cranked this thing. So okay, so that's looking good. So that is what happens when we put. So we figured out we need to call set volume every frame, but we only need to play if it's not already playing. So we're gonna set the volume here, just like this. So this is our old. This is looping regardless of state. What needs to happen is we don't want, the sine was just to test the playing. So we're going to get rid of the sine function, and we're just going to do a max volume. We're going to do a volume increasing, a volume decreasing, so that we can say, by the time we're playing a sound, we play it at our volume, and then if our volume, basically if we're in a successful cast and our volume's increasing, then we add volume at a certain rate, and if we are out of range of a successful cast, that needs to be negated from our spell so that it sounds quieter. So we're not using sine anymore for the volume, but we need this kind of play of, it's a successful cast, therefore we're increasing the number that we're playing the sound by, and if it is not a successful cast, we just constantly make sure that number's 0 so that it fades in and it goes all the way back down to 0. I think that's the move. We're printing up, is it wave right now? We're printing up wave, which is because we were oscillating, but this wave is actually the volume. So the flame, don't we call it flame volume? What do we call it? Fire spell volume. Okay. So let's get our music back here. Yeah, that's a little. Okay. Fire spell volume. Okay. So anything that was a self.wave is actually this. Let's just do this, where we say the wave is now fire spell volume. Okay. And then when we set the volume, we set it to whatever our fire spell volume is. So self.fire spell volume. So the trick is fire spell volume is increasing here because we're adding. So only if we're a successful spell cast do we add to our sine count, and sine count is now a bad variable name for that, but when we're in the range of a successful spell cast, we increase this number. So if this is basically our speed of which the gain comes up or down, is this whatever this 0.01 or whatever this delta time divided by 2 is. So if we like that rate, then we could subtract that rate if we're not in a successful cast. So when successful cast is false, we bring down our count. We subtract So our count goes smaller, and the sign count is actually the fire spell volume. Well, sign count is actually an ever-growing... Actually, yeah, this is... Do we do any other thing with sign count here? No. So we have sign count. Wait, we don't increase sign count? I guess it doesn't matter. No, because we need to oscillate, but we're oscillating different. So we initialize fire spell volume to 0. We increment... Yeah, fire spell volume I think needs to be right here. So sign count is actually fire spell volume. And we are scaling this by delta time for frame rate independent volume changes. So we're going to set our volume equal to our current volume added whatever this variable is, which is the speed of the fade, which we can adjust. But we're a successful cast. We're going to set it equal to that. So if we're not a successful cast, we're going to subtract this value. And then when we print, we want to print the fire spell volume. So I'm just going to say volume. So we're going to print up our volume to the console, and we'll see it should only trigger to be positive once we're actually casting a spell. But if we fall out of a successful spell cast, it should decrement to 0. And if we we probably have to do some math.min.max functions here. I just want to see the volume and see if it's tied to... See, look, it's still cycling. Well, because we're not a successful spellcast, so it's subtracting. So we basically, if we wanted to get back to hearing it at this point, we need to... Well, actually, that was kind of... Okay, that's not right, but we're hearing it, but we're not setting our volume based on the volume, right? Well, we are here. We have to do this outside of the spellcast. We have to always set the fire spell volume. Okay, and then so when our thing is growing here, when our volume is getting louder, we want to say that there's a max volume we want it, and that max volume is 0.5. Otherwise, add delta time divided by 2 to our volume. And then on the other front, if we're getting smaller, we want a math.max function and give 0 as one of the arguments, because 0 will get returned if this is a negative number, so we can assure that we're not playing it at a negative volume. So let's see if the sound is sounding. Oh my god, it is working. So look, it shrinks down. Outside of a successful spellcast, it goes down to a 0. When we're in a cast, it goes up to a 0.5, which is the loudest volume. Actually, dude, this is it. This is really good. It might need to come up a little faster. It needs to get louder a little faster. So let's take out the divide by 2 on the increment. I like how fast it fades away, because it's there's actually no leniency in the game with your blue spell might be visible, but if you're out of the successful spellcast, you won't get hits on it. It won't do any damage. Okay, let's try this. Yes, dude. It's perfect. It matches perfectly the visuals. So if we look at just, look, I'll pause this. We'll look at just the visuals of the spellcast and see if it matches the sound. It does, man. It fades. It's good. Okay, let's see how it sounds in a dungeon. I think it's good. It sounds good, man. I think that's it. Oh, that bat wing got stuck flying. Oh, dude, we're screwed. We gotta run. Yeah, the bat wings got stuck playing there. But also this is like the most bats in a room, so I'm kind of not surprised. Okay, I think... This is like a... Oh, I guess it's not a bug. It just kind of stops playing once it's done there. And then came back on. Dude, I think this is it. I think we're good with this. I think we're good. Excuse me? I couldn't tell you what's happening, dude. It's like we're about to commit and then the computer just died. Okay, so let's take a look. What we did. Yeah. We added a fire spell volume that we either scale up or down. Now we can get rid of this sign. We have this sign, this self.wave we can get rid of, and this sign count. So self.wave and sign count we don't need anymore in our player class. Okay, we don't need that, and we don't need our sign. What was it? Self.wave. Okay, it should work without that. Yep. Oh, man. Content is fire, I guess, Innsbur. I have no idea. Maybe the brightness is too up. Okay. Well. Okay, so the sound is good. Let's see if there's anything else. We got dialogue beeps in. I don't exactly know if I like the beep to navigate the next page or just the text beeps. For right now, it has the little beeps for advancing the page. But yeah, fire blast. Okay, so we have a fire spinning, which we just implemented. And then we have a fire blast, like getting hit by the gecko or a bat getting hit by a fire spell. So there's a collide with spell entity or something like that. Collide with collide spell to I don't even know what to freaking search. Is it in our entity class? We should have like a spell. See, look, spellcast to gecko collision or spellcast to bat collision. Okay, so if we do this, yeah, we need to not only play the bat damaged, but also play the fire spell. And technically, we need to play the sound of the spell that's equipped. But right now, we only have one spell, so this would be our fire blast spell. So fire blast, if we damage a bat, let's hear how loud that is compared to other things like the magic spinning or music or anything like that. So let's see. Okay, here we go. So it should sound, we need to cheat and upgrade. I just gave ourselves this fire spell. Part of the saving stuff we were debugging, so I had to... Okay, now we got the fire spell equipped. Okay, so let's hear the blast. Yeah? Maybe a little quieter so you can hear the bat hiss, because there's like a bat hurt sound too. It's pretty damn good, though. It's pretty good. I think we just turn it down maybe 1 or 2 notches. Fire Blast 2. We'll set it to 0.8. Let's see how that sounds. What the heck happened there? Dude, why am I meditating? What the heck? What just happened there? I went up? Dude, I've never seen that. I've never seen that. Still sounds too loud. Still sounds too loud. That was very loud. Too loud. Excuse me. Here we go. Still kind of loud, huh? Because that's the braking button. Braking sound. Actually, I like it. I think it's good. Oh my god, dude, they got me good. Yeah, I get it. I get it. I get it. Okay. I like that. You know what? Let's just go down another 0.1. Just because there are two sounds we play there and we don't want them competing too hard, so I want to hear a little bit more of the bat. Okay, so we got our two sounds implemented. Let's get a commit going here. Let's just make sure we didn't add any weird stuff. You know what? We need to add the Fire Blast sound on a gecko cleanse also, because we're gonna have geckos in the Dark Forest and on Gecko Road here in the demo, so we need to make sure we have that same sound effect for a Fire Blast to play here. So spellcast to bat collision. So we can call this Gecko Collision. If we play the Gecko Hurt sound, we play the Fire Blast sound. So that should work for geckos as well. We don't have any geckos in the game right now. We have to add them in, which we will do very soon, because we're basically done with the demo. Let's do a commit, and then I'll talk through about what we're going to be doing for the next week in preparation for the demo release. And let's just look at our git dev here real quick. Yep, we added it for the bat and the gecko. I just want to make sure that when we set the volume, that we are setting the volume maybe before both of these. We set the volume in the play state, not the entity. So this is just to determine the play, not the volume. So I think this is okay. Okay, we do play the Fire Blast. Now, in the future, we have to change this to what's equipped, but this is fine for now. Okay, yeah, dude. When the Steam Link is finally live, I'll blast that thing everywhere. So I'll probably have it up on a command and maybe up on the screen or something. Or maybe my bot can do it every like 15 minutes or something. But yeah, I'll let you know for sure, Cavictus. It's gonna be good, dude. We're really close. So what we have left, we didn't commit, did we? Let's do this where we say we added two sound effects. So we add fire circling sound effect and spellcast to entity collision. Okay, we're gonna push it, and then we're gonna talk about what we have left because we're very close to finishing the game's demo. So we've got a little bit of stuff to fix with the intro cinematic just for the loading. We tweak some stuff to make it easier to test, but it means it's broken if you play it from scratch, you get stuck in Mage's castle, or Mage walks through his wall, so it's just like a little busted right now. So like that's like a little thing. I don't expect that to take more than a day or two to fix. But here's the rest of the stuff we need here. Let's see. Okay, so we need to add 2 villagers for Main Street, plus a gossip in the refinery. And the gossip is just a player that you can come to and talk, and he'll give you little hints, random tooltips, right, for the game or something, just as a little guy to help with that sort of stuff. We need to touch up the overworld sprites. This is basically done. This is just part of our screens, so we're done with this. But we need to design them, so that's why they're still in here. Collision detection for enemy entities. Yes, so entities don't collide with one another, and they don't collide with collidable map objects like we do. So a gecko can crawl straight over a tree to come get us, so we need to add that. We can actually put the geckos there. We need the fisherman NPC. We got the saving loading done. And then we need one track for the refinery. So this is all we have left for the demo. I'm not too worried about the NPCs. We've done that. It's, you know, the hardest thing is just designing them and getting the art for them. Yo, sounds good, Inber. Well, I'm gonna end stream here soon, so I'll catch you later, dude. Thanks for the follow. But yeah, so we're close. You know, we just need to add 3 NPCs, which isn't a heavy load. It's mostly just designing them and getting their states working. You know, which direction they're facing, if they're walking, or if they just stand there. New overworld sprites, I want to make it more, you know, tidy up the art a bit. And then we've got the map laid out how we want. Maybe we can add 2 screens on Lost Forest just for the shortcut. Or we can add a treasure chest with like a little bit of something over there too if we want to just get like 6 screens total of Lost Forest, because right now it's just 4. Feels a little small. But yeah, this won't be hard. Yeah, real talk, like, you know, this will take me an evening. We've got this done. This will take me a session, so that's 2 sessions, 3 sessions, 4 sessions, 4 sessions, 5 and 6 sessions for the other 2 NPCs. So I'm assuming in about 7 sessions we should be in a good spot for some last minute testing for the demo. So if I can stream, you know, every day the next coming week, that's only 1 week out, but I'm moving and really busy lately, so we might, you know, whatever. It's about 7 sessions out for us to be done. So with the demo, and then we can prioritize the Steam page and everything, and then get the demo working for the web deployment, and then we'll abandon the web deployment updates because it just takes too long. But it'll be working. The demo will be working on the website, which will be really cool for both the Steam page and or just the game's release in general for the demo. So it's going to be good. And then, yeah, we just need some new songs. So we're in a good spot. You know, we're going to find someone to raid here. As we raid out, I got to run credits. Forgot to run credits, and then we'll raid out here. Well, we've got Hypnotic. You know, our boy Bright is streaming. Here, let's do our... is he doing game dev stuff? Thanks for hanging, Convictus, dude. We'll just raid Bright because we always raid the homie. So, thanks for hanging, y'all. Thanks for the new subs and follows, or new follows. I will stream when I can again. I try to do every day, but I've been moving and it's been very, very busy for me. So I'm hoping to get back into that when I'm settled. So my streams will be kind of here and there, but hoping to see you guys soon, and I'll be back. Thanks for watching.